Vital, now in a brand new pack.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Espresso on SABC3. Now, today we're putting a spin on a recipe that dates back to the 17th century here in Cape Town when it was first made. Normally made with pork, beef or lamb, today we are making a vegetarian bobotie with lentils and butternut with Andrea from Vital.
Need some inspiration for your next meat-free Monday? Espresso's cooking up a storm with Andrea de Plessis. Today, she puts a healthy, meat-free twist on a traditional favorite.
I'm back at the Institute of Culinary Arts in Banouk, Stellenbosch with Andrea de Plessis from Vital, and we're here to play chef. We actually wish we were actual chefs.
I wish I was.
Now, Andrea got inspiration from one of her fans or followers on Facebook, Rihanna Havenga, to create this next recipe, taking an old South African classic bobotie and giving it a bit of a twist, right?
Definitely. I asked for some tips on how to cook a lentil bobotie, and I got so many responses, but the recipe that was most interesting was lentils and bobotie by Rihanna Havenga. So I played around a bit with the recipe, and here's my interpretation.
So what do we need to make this recipe?
You need your lentils and butternut, of course, but we're going to start with frying some onions. To that, we're going to add our spices.
Now, what spices are those? Because I'm not too familiar with making bobotie.
This is 1 teaspoon of curry powder, so we keep it simple. And here we've got a combination, 1 teaspoon each of cumin and coriander. We're also going to add some tomato, Vital soy sauce and chutney.
Lovely. Let's get started.
So the first step is you heat up some olive oil, the healthy version, and you add your onions. And at a fairly high heat because you want to fry them almost golden brown. And at this stage you can also add your spices.
So that would be your curry powder.
And cumin and coriander.
So is there anything I can do in the meanwhile?
If you can whisk the eggs and the milk for me in this bowl.
The one-handed technique. I'm getting nervous. Cracking eggs has always got a way of making me feel nervous. All right, so here we go. To this we add the milk, which is about 400 milliliters.
That's correct.
All right, there goes the milk. Oh, it's like those chocolate adverts.
The onions are ready, so I'm going to add the butternut, but I've cheated here, and it's a tip that I'd like to share with people. Butternut takes quite a bit of time to cook, so I've heated this. You can feel that in the microwave oven. It's not completely cooked, but it's half cooked.
So instead of actually cooking it, you put it in the microwave for 10 minutes, you say?
Well, it speeds up the process in cooking, otherwise it would take about 20 minutes in the pot.
Okay.
So now I'm going to add this into the onion mixture.
Oh, and it's already smelling absolutely amazing.
If you can add me the Vital soy sauce, specifically chosen the garlic, ginger and sesame flavour. So you see, I haven't added any salt, so instead of salt I add the Vital soy sauce.
And why did you choose specifically this Vital soy sauce for the recipe?
Because garlic and ginger specifically go so well with the curry spices.
Okay.
If you can hand me that bowl of lentils.
The big bowl of lentils.
An entire pack of lentils cooked. For this recipe, I think we'll need about half of that. So 2 cups of cooked lentils.
Okay. And of course those lentils packed rich with fibre and protein and all those good things.
Yes, and especially because bobotie is traditionally made not with butternut or lentils, but actually with meat.
Yes.
So the lentils also provide that meaty texture and flavour. To this, we're going to now add the tomato and chutney.
There we go.
It's a whole tin of tomatoes. And then about a tablespoon of chutney. You see, I don't measure out perfectly.
But you see, it's because we're trying to be chefs. You know, that's what chefs do. They can measure out without using teaspoons. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're done.
Now I need to add the raisins to absorb some of that tomato sauce and also the bay leaves. And because there's butternut inside, I'm not going to add too many raisins because it will already have a sweet flavour, so a small handful is enough. Now, I almost forgot the garlic.
So how much of that are you adding?
1 teaspoon. The next step is transfer most of this into this dish. And then the egg will go on top of this, so we need to smooth out the layer. And now it's ready to go into the oven.
Let's get it in there. Goodbye, little bobotie.
And now you've got to wait for about 45 minutes.
All right, well, let's get to the tasting then. Wow, Some people might say there's not enough salt in that, but I kind of like the sweet flavor.
Well, that's what we said with adding raisins to the butternut, because both of them have sweet flavors. What I want to say about this dish is it's one of the healthiest, most cost-effective dishes I've ever prepared. If you look at the basic ingredients, they're both nutritious and very, very inexpensive. Lentils, onions, butternut, egg. It's as simple as that.
Well, I think I'd like to call this one Bobotie.
Ach, dankie Katlego.
Find the recipe on Expresso's website. Also like the page Andrea du Plessis Vital Expert on Facebook for more lifestyle inspiration and share your favorite recipes and healthy cooking tips.
Vital, now in a brand new pack.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.